Welcome. So, I had my days mixed up. I was like, today's the TFT day. I don't think so. I think today is actually just patch notes for League of Legends. I don't know if the TFT patch is today or if it's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Regardless, here we are with patch 25.24 for League of Legends. Now, if I recall correctly, this is the long patch, right? This is the patch that lasts 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe? Let's look forward to, because last patch of the year, right? It's December 2nd, so I'm pretty sure this is a long patch. TFT patch notes here. Okay, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Regardless, patch 25.24. As expected, not really anything too much because we have the um the new season starting in January. So I went over it yesterday. If you're really interested in that, it's already up on the YouTube. But we got a light patch here, and then we'll check out TFT once again. I only ever looked at the lore drop for TFT. We'll talk about TFT in a minute. Let's just get into this real quickly. So, Summoner's Rift ranked season. It will end on January 7th. So you have about a month and some change to get your last ranked in. Summer's Rift rank queues will be disabled for 12 hours for preparation. 2026 start. End of season year rewards will not only include a victorious Draven skin, but accessories. Victorious skin border, ranked emote, ranked icon, typical end of season stuff. So you have about a month. If you haven't hit your ranked goals, you got a month. WASD launches in limited queues. So, WASD, if you have not heard about this, they have implemented a system where you can use WASD to move your champion instead of right clicking. So I know there was some controversy about it at first because it was too good, right? You had people who had like faker movement just using WASD. So they said they were going to retune it, rebalance it. I didn't keep up with it because I wasn't entirely interested. Let's take a look-see here. It will be enabled in Normals, Customs, Swift Play, Aram. Also, Arena, Aram Mayhem, and Aram Earth. Interesting. So, obviously, you won't be able to get it in ranked right away. Dynamic camera that follows your mouse with speed settings. Middle mouse click to freely move your camera. Remap your keybinds as you wish. Using balanced data from live to further iterate on the WASD experience. Most unranked queues. Still in the beta state. Both Briar and Talia will have it disabled. Alright, so again, I didn't keep track of how they decided to retune it and everything. But it sounds cool. It sounds like a step in the right direction. Because at this rate, people are going to be playing League of Legends on a gamepad, right? Like, how much longer before it like just comes to console at this point? Sounds cool. Hopefully it's not game breaking. Because for us who've been using a mouse for movement for a decade plus, it's kind of weird to add a new movement option because some people will love it, some people will hate it. But there definitely shouldn't be a situation where this comes out and it's just better than using a mouse. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Champ Select. You can no longer ban champs hovered by your teammates. This is something that they've been talking about for a while. It's finally here. And yeah, shorter champ select. So there you go. Pretty good for everyone. Sanctum. We'll be running 2 mythic variants in the Sanctum. Sunken Shadows Lucian and Nami will be joining the So the Lucian and Nami skins, I thought they were legendary skins. It looks like they're Sanctum skins. You and your duo. Ah, yes, we're preying on multiple people now. Your shop is back. Always nice to see. Arcane Anniversary. By popular player request, we've made a new icon featuring Mel and Ambessa. For 250 RP. Okay, haven't seen it yet. Holy crap, where are all these bots coming from? Sorry about that. Alright, finally, we can get into the champ balance. Braum. A resident mustachioed muscle man is a little weak right now. Really? Plus 20 HP. 40%. Wow, they doubled the increase after you proc his passive. So I believe that the way this works is after Braum applies the passive, he just gets bonus damage on follow-up auto attacks. And they're just doubling the damage. So yeah. Playing up his active brawling with some durability early on and increased damage in extended fights so he can punch his opponents. Okay, I'm actually okay with that. Makes Braum a bit more of a fighter. It does make me wonder if this is going to start pushing Braum towards being able to play top lane. It'd be pretty cool. Dr. Mundo. Overestimate the impact of last patch's Dr. Mundo buff fix, which means our compensation buff overshot as well. Happy with where Top Mundo ended up, but Jungle Mundo is now a little over the line. I actually haven't seen any Jungle Mundo, so. The monster cap has been reduced by 50 damage across the board. Okay. Okay. Slowdown is clear a little bit. That's fine. Dr. Mundo's whole thing is he's scaling anyway, so he really shouldn't clear the jungle too terribly fast. Shadow Assassin Kane is a bit too good at taking down his targets at the moment, so we're here to patch to give them a fighting chance. We don't want Ross to be caught in the crossfire of these nerfs, so we're taking aim at the blue Kane's specific damage that often comes in the form. I have not seen a single blue Kane. Every Kane I see goes red. But the Darkened Sight, the passive, down 5%. So this is when you're Shadow Assassin, you get bonus damage when you initiate combat. So they just tapped it down. Kha'Zix. Hey guys, what does Kha'Zix say when he breaks his $20? Change is good. One of the strongest junglers at the moment and is in need of a nerf. We don't want to hurt his ability to assassinate targets, so instead we're going to slow down his jungle clear. So the base damage on Void Spike going down 10 across the board. Not a whole lot, just another clear nerf. Master Yi is another powerful champion who's been dominating the jungle. Base health down by 15. Attack damage grows down by 0.3. So just a light tap on his damage. Mel, while not mathematically overpowered, I mean, I don't even need to read this. Mel is such an annoying champion because she's idiot-proof. I've been saying this for a while. The champ you can't mess up, right? You can't mess up on CSing. You can't really miss her E. The E is so big that, like, as long as you throw it in the direction of the enemy champ, they have to, like, maneuver all the way around it. You know, like, they have to take evasive action. And then it also slows. And then if you're in the center, it also roots. And then, like, she just does damage from across the screen. She's like Hui with her Q almost. And that's nerfed. Like, it used to have more range. So, realistically, it's like this champ just does whatever she wants. She can't miss CS. She's just throwing stuff at you constantly. And if you ever do get to her, her reflect actually actively shuts down entire kits. Even if you're not laning against her. Like, if you're playing Ornn, for example, it's like playing against Yasuo. Like, you can't ever hit R until you see the reflect go down. But if she's sitting in the back line, like, when is she going to use the reflect? You know? And that's just me talking as, like, a top laner that doesn't even have to lane against her. Anyway. In short, we're delivering a direct nerf that will still allow dedicated mains to win an appropriate number of games, but will make her suboptimal for inexperienced players. Again, the champ's idiot-proof. Like, inexperienced player or no, I feel like it doesn't take very long to get good with this champion. We're going after how inescapable her E can feel to play against. Long term, we have a larger work plan for early next year with more significant changes that turn into a more appropriate power level while also making her feel more fair to play against. Okay, so this is just a taste. They have more plans for nerfing her early next season, or at least adjusting her early next season. This is just a for now nerf to Mel. So, orb magic damage. 60 to 240 is now 60 to 220. So minus 20 damage, that means nothing. Magic damage per second. 16 to 80 is now 16 to 56. I mean, that is still significant. This is a significant damage nerf, but I don't think it means anything. Lingering debuff duration, 0.5 rather than 0.75. Mana cost, increased by 20. I mean, it's a nerf, right? Like, it does make her weaker. This does not eliminate the pain points, right? Her whole kit is a pain point, right? Her passive is perfect CS, effectively, right? Because it's an execute on anything. So she always gets the full wave, especially after she finishes an item, right? She gets a Blackfire Torch, the wave is just gone. There's nothing you can do about it. She can poke you from Narnia. Again, her E, the big problem with her E, honestly, is that it's too big, right? It's just too big. She just throws it in your vicinity. And all of this applies her passive anyway. And once it's on an enemy champion, she just hits R. Which, again, requires no skill. So it's like the only thing in her kit that requires any amount of actual skill is probably her Q, but you throw it from so far away that it's like almost free poke. You know? And maybe this is just my opinion, but I feel like though that pretty much sums up why this champ has such a high ban rate. Nasus. Been the underdog for some time now. Base health plus 19. Siphoning Strike, base damage, plus 5. Okay, so that's fine. A small buff to Nasus's early game goes a long way. Because Nasus honestly starts being able to 1v1 his opponent with a Sheen plus ultimate. So he's really only weak in like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game. And then he starts like, just stat checking you. So this looks like a small buff, but it goes a long way. It really does go a long way. That extra 5 damage to help you guarantee that you're getting the CS with your Q, as well as to give you slightly more trading power, and slightly higher base stats so you don't just get like bullied out of your lane at level 3. Pretty good. So good changes to Nasus. Nidalee. Nidalee has risen up the ranks as an extremely high-powered jungler, largely due to a bug. We fixed the bug and we'll keep an eye to see how she lands. Bonus damage beyond 525 range, 30 through 125 is now 0 to 125%. Damage at ranges below 525 are unaffected. Alright, so I wasn't actually aware of this bug for Nidalee. And to be honest with you, I see Nidalee support more often than I see Nidalee jungle. Because whenever I see her Nidalee jungle... I mean, I play an Emerald, so maybe at this point... I mean, I play a Diamond MMR, but I haven't finished my rank climb. I've been just sitting at Emerald 1 because I just don't have the motivation to play ranked. But I only have a month, so I might as well reclaim my Diamond status. And see if I can make the push to Masters. Anyway, whenever I see Nidalee, she's just not useful. Like, even if she gets fed, like... I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not at a high enough elo, right? Diamond's not high enough. Maybe it's elite tier. Whatever the tier of Master, Grandmaster is. Sejuani. Much like her fellow Freljordian tank, Sejuani is one of the weaker champions in the game right now. Here to deliver a shot in the arm with some cooldown buffs. While we're here, we're also taking a pass on making top Sejuani and AP Sejuani more viable. Ooh! Okay. Sejuani top? I see a Sejuani top once in a blue moon, but she might become a little bit more popular now. So Arctic Assault, 19 to 13 is now 18 to 12. So 1 second. Mana cost, 70 through 90, 60 through 80, minus 10. AP ratio, 75%. Okay. Winter's Wrath, mana cost, minus 5. First hit AP ratio, 30%. And it hits 3 times, right? Or does it hit twice? Permafrost, AP ratio up 10%. Glacial Precision, cooldown. Okay, I thought they were going to increase the AP ratio on her ult too. I was about to say, man, I'm about to play some AP Sejuani. So the cooldown is just minus 10 early, minus 5 at rank 2, and then it equalizes again at 90. Cool. Swain. Swain's buff didn't help him as much as we wanted. So heal per fragment, 3 to 6 based on level. It's now just a flat 6%. So you get the full value of Swain's heal, even at level 1. Cool. This might actually bring back Swain top, if I'm going to be honest with you. I always know that I mentioned top lane, but I'm a top main, so that's how I feel. Victor. Victor's in need of a little more power right now. Can I be honest? Victor seems like a champ that gets played a lot, but I never see him useful. You know? Am I the only one who feels like Victor does 0 damage? He feels like a champ that's super annoying in lane. And then he just falls off. Maybe it's maybe you're not supposed to do the Rod of Ages Seraphs build. Because that's what I end up doing. Maybe you're not supposed to go Rod of Ages. Maybe you're just supposed to do Seraphs and Blackfire Torch or something. But I always feel like this champion does not do a lot of damage. But that might just be my experience. I don't know. I'm not a very experienced Victor. I only play him when I get autofilled mid. Q, Siphon Power. His shield gives 25 more at max rank. Ooh, plus 7% AP as well. And fix 2 bugs. A bug that caused the shield to calculate incorrectly, and a bug that caused the AP ratio to be inaccurate. Alright. Cool. Alright, Zahin. This is probably what most people were looking forward to. A lot of people were saying that Zahin's numbers were a little too high. I agree that he started stat checking a little too early, but I am curious to see exactly how they bring him in line. So let's take a look. For 25.23, overall Zahin released a bit too strong. His damage was a bit high and had room to go down while still feeling satisfying, so we decided to target that over other parts of his kit. We're being cautious here, so we're taking a little more time to see how he sells before we make additional changes. We're keeping our eyes peeled and we'll make additional changes as needed. Now we're at 25.24, and Zahin's still a bit strong, particularly in higher ranks, so we've got some skill skew changes here to bring him down a bit. We also want to compensate his jungle a bit as we expect it to lose some power, upping the skew's monster damage mod. So Cultivation of War. It was 1.5 to 3.3 per stack. Now it's 1.5 to 2.8 per stack. So if you're not understanding how that works, he gets bonus AD per stack, and then it's 12 stacks. And then at 12 stacks, he doubles it. So let's just do the quick math here. 3.3 times 12 was 39.6. And then you double that, and he was getting 80 AD from his passive, which was stacked. So now it'll be 2.8 times 12 times 2, and now it's 67.2. So he lost about 13 AD. Assuming I'm doing that math right? Assuming I'm doing that math right, he took a big chunk of AD. And that's assuming max level, right? That's assuming max level. I wonder actually if this will get even higher when the roll queues show up and you can get to level 20. Darkened Glaive. AD ratio, 30 to 70% is now 20 through 60%. So minus 10% across the board. Second cast base damage, 30 to 150 is now 25 through 125. So minus 25 damage. It starts off at minus 5, but scales up to minus 25. So yeah, they're tapping a lot of his base power down. Cooldown, 9 to 5 is now 10 to 6. So plus 1 second across the board. Monster damage modifier up 75% though, wow. Yeah, so that is good if you're playing him jungle. That's a nice little change. Ariat Rush, sweet spot damage. I predicted this would happen. I said that one big thing about Zahin that probably would get changed would be his E, because if you hit on the edge of that slash at the end of his E, it does percent health magic damage. So it was 4 to 8%. Now it's 4 to 6%, minus 2%. It's actually a pretty big deal because it really gave Zahen a tool to get out some really good damage, even against tankier targets. Right? Like, it was a really good tool for repositioning, especially against high HP targets. So it's like, oh, I can dodge an enemy skill shot and do percent HP magic damage in one movement while continuing the fight. So that's a pretty good change. Ooh, give me just a sec. All right, so let's move on. Zed. One bar I want to hold for high quality jungle gameplay is exactly how quickly a champion can clear their own jungle and then reasonably invade their opponents. In Zed's case, he can clear, hit level 4, invade you, or instead recall, buy 2 longswords, and then fight you for Rift Scuttle. Of course, someone has to have the fastest skill in the game. That crown will move to Ivern most likely, but we do ways Zed manifests his jungle strengths across the line. Okay, so they're just slowing down Zed's clear. That makes sense to me. I have not seen a Zed mid in months, I think, at this point. I have only seen him jungle. So his passive did double damage to monsters, now it's 1.8. So his clear goes down slightly. I don't really understand just how big of a nerf this is. But a few extra seconds can make a world of difference because a few extra seconds can decide when your gank will go through or when your invade goes through. Those few extra seconds to make a huge difference, right? Like the enemy jungler showing up in your lane a few seconds before your jungler could be the difference between winning a 2v2 and getting curb stomped, right? Runes, Bloodline. Recent buff to Bloodline didn't land quite as strong as we had hoped. I mean, Bloodline's been kind of in a bad situation ever since they nerfed it a long time ago. His lifesteal per stack is up by 0.05, which means the maximum lifesteal is at almost 7% now. I mean, it's not bad. 7% lifesteal is not... It's not terrible. It's just a matter of whether or not it's... Like they said, they want to make it competitive. Because that's a Vamp Scepter, effectively. Right? You stack Bloodline and you get a Vamp Scepter's worth of lifesteal. That can be really good depending on the champ, but... I don't know. I feel like the champs who would like it is really just ADCs, right? I feel like most bruisers most assassins, and even the mages who go the precision tree, I feel like most of them would just prefer ability haste or attack speed, right? I struggle to think of a situation where someone specifically wants lifesteal over, say, Omnivamp. And it feels to me like this is just like it's just an ADC rune, almost. Like, I can't really think of too many other champs who want it. Like, maybe Yone wants it, but, like, Yone's an ADC. You know? He is. He's just a melee ADC. Anyway. Arena. We got a wealth of arena changes, which I'm not extremely interested in, honestly. I haven't even been playing Arena. And yeah. Now we just need to look at the TFT patch notes. So I like this artwork, by the way. It's very, very pretty. TFT? So I feel like I actually don't have a whole lot to read here. Because this is stuff we've already seen, right? I mean, some of it might be new, so let's take a look anyway. Our reward does you unlock champions? Yeah, we went over that in the lore drop video. New ranked season, of course. Mobile notification rewards. Get rewarded for opting into notifications. First set, second set, third set, fourth set. Just free treasure tokens. Okay. I mean, I have a TFT on my phone. I don't normally play it on my phone, but I have it on my phone. And so I guess this is a sign for everyone to get it on their phone because free treasure tokens. Set mechanic unlockables. We've seen that. There's like 100 champions, right? And 40 of them have to be unlocked by completing certain circumstances. So this was shown off in the lore drop. We did a video on that if you're interested. Player damage. Okay, this is new. Player flat damage. Stage 3 base damage. Up 1. Stage 4 base damage. Down 1. Interesting. It does bridge the gap a little more, right? Because it was like 5 to 8. Now it's 6 to 7. Make stage 3 more meaningful, rewarding your tempo play and strong flexible boards. We expect fast 8 and 9 strides to be much more consistent due to powerful late game units with unlockables. Interesting. I mean, that does make sense because you have some units you're going to want to roll for, right? Like to get Zahin, you have to get the Xinjiao 3, I think. So it just makes sense. Experience to level. XP to level 8. 60? So plus 12 to level 9. Okay, but level 9 got nerfed. So you need 12 more experience for level 8. 8 less experience for level 9. And what is that? 16 less experience for level 10. So getting to level 8 is harder, but level 9 and 10, if you get all the way to level 10, you're actually saving gold. Hitting your desired forecast will be much more consistent and rewarding. Going from 8 to level 9 and 10 will be a bit easier, rewarding you for building a strong level 8 board. Interesting. Because that does make sense. A popular tempo play has always been to go for econ all the way through to stage 3 and then go into stage 4 and just level all the way to 8 and roll it down for your forecast. So getting your forecast will be more consistent, but it takes a little bit more gold. So it's a bit riskier to do that. And then if you do that, getting to level 9 and 10 will be easier, but, you know, econing back up will be more taxing since you'll have less gold to work with when you hit that exact power spike at 8. Shop odds. 17, 24, 32, 24, 3. 15, 20, 32, 30. Oh, wow. So this is what they mean. Yeah, hitting forecast is going to be way more consistent because you're going to have an extra 6% for forecast. And then level 9, 33, 12%, 33, 15%. Jesus, man. Yeah, you get to level 8. Hitting your forecast is way easier. And getting to level 9, dude, that's an 8% increase. And now it's going up. You have 5 times the chance to see a 5 cost at level 9 now. Carousel. With prismatic traits now mostly reliant on hitting level 10 with 2 emblems, we want to make sure that it's viable to pursue them. So we're increasing the odds of seeing spatulas and pans on carousels. I guess that makes sense. Getting to level 10 on its own can be a challenge depending on your econ and how much HP you have. And then you still need 2 spats on top of it. So I guess it makes sense. If you hit 2 spats and you can make a comfortable board, you can play for the prismatic trait. So on stage 2 and 4 from 11 to 15%, 3x splat pan. They just tripled it to 3%. Stage 3, carousel odds of seeing 1 spit. 1 spatula or pan, 15%. So it's a little more. It's not a hefty increase, but you'll see it way more often at least. Last time we removed assassin from our roles revamped reworked. We're adding it back with the rework for our extended roster. Sets take 15% less damage from all enemies except the current target. Right, so yeah, they removed assassins as a champion role, but now it's back. Champions now enter the flow state faster than you can say Mahali. Champions will now begin moving to new hexes slightly faster. They should resolve occasional issues with champions stuttering when passing multiple hexes to start attacking, especially at higher movement speeds. That is annoying when it takes a champion too long to like repath and find their target, so that's a good change. New set, new opening encounters. Okay. Let's take a look-see. Golden Gala, 62.2%. So that's all gold augments. Prismatic Party, 4.1%. Prismatic Finality, 4.1%. Prismatic Opener, 4.1%. We all know that. A 3-cost start, 7.2%. 2-cost start, 4.1%. Upgraded start. So this is starting the game with a 2-star champion, 6.2%. Component Anvil, 6.2%. Scuttle Puddle, 6.2%. You know, even though Scuttle Puddle's only 6%, something tells me I'm going to see it a lot. I feel like I hit Scuttle Puddle all the time. Loot Subscription, 5.2%. Emblem Ensemble, 4.1%. Rise grants you 3 random emblems to begin your journey. Interesting, so that's different from Golem. Instead of getting a Golem with 3 emblems, you just get 3 emblems, which means it's re-rollable. That's 4.1%. Gold Subscription, 5.2%. Augment Round Swap, 6.2%. Oh, so this is Jinx's Get Excited. Yeah. So the augments show up earlier. No Encounter, 5.2%. Howling Abyss, 7.2%. Gain 5 random 1-cost to fight on the Howling Abyss. What does that mean? Like, yeah, cool, you get 5 random 1-cost. That sounds awesome. But fight on the Howling Abyss. Does this mean something? Fighting on Howling Abyss? I don't know. That's a 7.2% chance. We're going to find out, right? Silver Scrape, 7.2%. The final 2 players gain 70 gold for an epic final fight. That could flip things massively. Reckoner Arena, 6.2%. Draven rewards gladiators with gold whenever an opponent falls. Okay, so everyone gets paid out when someone dies. Scouting Party, 5.2%. Teemo Scouting Party has found +1 augment reroll for all augments. Okay. That could be a big deal, actually. Large changes, third-party friends. So here you go. If you use any of these sites, I personally use Tactics Tools, but if you use any of these sites, you have them. Augment cycling removed. The following augments are lost to time in the Grand Library. All That Shimmers, gone. Another one and another one. At What Cost? Backup Dancers, Blazing Soul, Big Friend. Well, Big Friend 2 specifically is gone. Blood Rage, Caretaker's Chosen, Climbing the Ladder, Cloning Facility, Crown Guarded, Cybernetic Uplink, Diversified Portfolio, Evil Beyond Measure, Final Ascension, Gold for Dummies, Golden Quest, Greater Moonlight, Howling Gale, Investment Strategy 1 and 2, Item Collector, Kraken's Fury, Max Cap, Moonlight, Piercing Sight, Pocket Recombobulator, Psychic Forge, Raining Gold Plus, the original Raining Gold still exists, Reroll Transfer, Scapegoat, Silver Destiny Plus Plus, Scoreboard Scrapper, Tesla Coil, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, Vampiric Vitality, Water Lotus 1 and 2, Young, Wild, and Free. All of those augments are now gone. That is a big list of augments that have been removed. Holy crap. Returning augments. Okay, so on the other side, we have some augments that are coming back. Band of Thieves 2 now has a plus and plus plus version that are only available on specific rounds. Band of Thieves now grants another Thieves Gloves after a delay. Really? So you get 2 Thieves Gloves now. Band of Thieves 2 after 8 player combats on 2-1. Band of Thieves 2 Plus after 6 player combats. And Band of Thieves 2 Plus Plus after 3 player combats. And that's on each stage respectively. All Band of Thieves 2 versions are exclusive from each other, so you can't hit multiple. Binary Airdrop no longer has a unit limit. Binary Airdrop temporary item is now completely random instead of tailored to the champion's role. Ooh, that makes Binary Airdrop much worse. Binary Airdrop now grants 2 item components immediately. Okay. Celestial Blessing 1, 2, and 3 Omnivamp is from 10-15-25 to 12-18-25. So Celestial Blessing 2 and 3 are, no, all of them are better. Just depending on which one you hit. Okay, I misread that. The shield for 2 and 3 has also been buffed. Ooh, 1,000 at Celestial Blessing 3. Over double. That's pretty big. Clockwork Accelerator is no longer available in 2-1. Crash Test Dummies are back. Someone tell Soju. Cursed Crown now also grants your team 4% durability. Jeweled Lotus 1 is no longer available on 2-1. But the crit chance has been increased by 5%. It's now at 20. Jeweled Lotus 2 is no longer available on 2-1. But it grants an additional 10% crit damage. Makeshift Armor 1 and 2 are back. No Scout, no Pivot is back. Instead of the bonus stats being attached to individual champions, the bonus stats are now a team-wide aura that increases each combat. Bonus stats now apply team-wide instead of to champions only, meaning training dummies as summons will be buffed. No Scout, no Pivot, HP per round for Team Flash HP is now just 1%. So it actually gets better and better as time passes. Interesting. So the way this worked originally was the champ on your board that's been on your board longer has more stats. Now that's no longer the case. Now No Scout, No Pivot has an increase that stacks up and grants it to any champ you add to the board. So even if you add a champion real late in the game, it gets all the bonuses that have been stacking up the whole time. If I'm reading that right. And now instead of 14 flat HP, it's 1% HP, which is really, really good as time passes. On a Roll is back. Titanic Titan is back. Okay. All right. Now we have some adjusted augments for silver. Best Friends no longer on 2-1. Best Friends 1 attack speed and armor decreased by 2. Chaotic Evolution HP down by 20. Chaotic Evolution 80 AP and attack speed minus 2%. Dumbify up 200. They keep buffing Dumbify, bro. It's going to end up being like one of the best silvers at this point. Eye for an Eye, Deaths Required plus 2. Ooh, it's going to take a little while longer. Glass Cannon 1 starting health 75%. Okay. That makes sense to me because Glass Cannon is like, you can't really punish it. Minus 10% HP. Minus 25 makes a lot more sense. But they buffed the damage, so it's plus 17% damage now. Iron Assets, 1 less gold, fine. Keepers 1 shield strength, nerfed again, minus 15. I mean, Keepers was too good. Kingslayer now grants 1 gold per player combat regardless of combat outcome. So if you take Kingslayer and you lose, you still get a gold. Late Game Specialist, 3 more gold. Latent Forge turns to weight, 2 more. Wow. I mean, Latent Forge was easily one of the better ones. I mean, getting an artifact off of silver in exchange for losing a stage of silver, it was too good. Especially if you had like a really good early game, so you were winning even though you were down a silver, and then you get an artifact on top of it. It was too good. So now you have to wait 2 extra rounds. So 2 full stages, effectively, down a silver. Placebo plus, 1 less gold. Preparation no longer offered on 3-2. Reroll transfer gold, only 1. Rolling for days, 1 less reroll. Second win no longer on 2-1. Silver Destiny, -1 gold. Survivor now grants 3 gold immediately. And then you get 100 gold payout. Wow. I mean, Survivor, I like taking Survivor. Because again, if you have a good early game and you're like, yeah, I can top 4 this pretty easily, and then you get a huge payout of 100 gold, dude, that 100 gold comes in so clutch too. Like, you're sitting level 8, level 9, 100 gold, go straight to level 10 instantly, make your board stronger. Whew. All right, gold augments. This is a lot. So let's go through it real fast. Aura farming. Revert it to 4-5. Was it always 4-5? I think it was actually 4-6 at first. Regardless, it takes 2 extra rounds. Best Friends 2, no longer on 2-1. And it gives 2 less armor. But it gives more damage reduction, now at 13%. Bronze for Life, 1 damage amp per trait. Nerfed by 0.5. Okay. Crimea River Delay, 10 second. Wow. That's pretty hefty. They took a third off of the timer. Epoch rerolls. +1 reroll. Exclusive customization. Gives double the gold now. 10 gold. I feel like exclusive customization wasn't very good, so that's nice. Explosive growth now grants XP the turn you take it. Explosive growth additional rounds 3. Okay, so explosive growth does the same, but the roll you take it now counts. Oh, and it gives 1 less XP, though. So instead of 32 over 4 turns, 28 over 3 turns. I don't know if that's good. Explosive growth plus now gives 40 instead of 44. But you get it up front. You get a little less XP, but you get it up front. I don't know. I guess if you have to. Glass Cannon 2 starting health. Basically the same changes as Glass Cannon 1. Plus 10%. Ooh, 10% though. Not bad. So now it's at 30% bonus damage. That's pretty good. Gold Destiny -1. Hard Bargain HP now gives 6. And an extra gold. Not bad. Healing Orbs got buffed, really. So plus 40 HP. But you can't get it on 2-1. Okay. Getting it on 2-1 was like automatic win streak. You kill a unit, your unit's healed to full. So that was a pretty big deal. Hefty Rolls +1 bonus HP. Heroic Grabback ++ -3 gold. But you're getting components, so it's still good. High voltage percent increase. 20% now. Ooh. Hustler gold granted immediately. 5. Hustler now grants 2 XP a turn as well. That's pretty good, I think. Because Hustler was already giving you the extra gold, but while capping your interest. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word. But giving 2 XP a turn now as well could be pretty good. A pretty good investment. Keeper's 2 shield value. -20, saw it coming. Know your enemy now allows you to see the exact player you're fighting next. That's a big deal, I think. Because now you can actually make sure that you get the right traits in, so know your enemy gives you the full bonus. Last second save no longer available on 2-1, and -2% on the heal. Lucky Gloves Plus now additionally grants another Sparring Glove after 2 player combats. Messy Hall tier is now gold. Wow. But it deals flat magic damage scaling with your AD and AP. And it files 2 project. Is Mess Hall going to be broken, do you think? That sounds pretty good. Quiet Quitting gold. +24. Wow. +8 gold. Pandora's Bench is finally gold. Holy crap. It has been way too long. Pandora's Bench needed to be a gold augment so many sets ago. I think everyone agrees that Pandora's Bench was way too strong for a silver augment. And you can't get it on 4-2. And it gives you a lesser champ dupe. And 4 gold, so -1 gold. Dude, actually, Pandora's Bench being gold, holy crap. I can't believe it actually finally happened. I never actually thought they would nerf it, but they did. Damn. I wonder if it's even takeable now. It was always gold tiered strength. Because, like, it was like a silver augment, and you don't really mind being down a silver augment for something that could hit this well. There have been games that I've straight up won just because it's like, oh, look, 3-star 4 cost, just like that. You just high roll and win instantly. Okay, Pilfer now has an additional effect. The first time you gain 30 gold worth of champions, gain a Thieves' Gloves. Okay. If the first champion killed is one you haven't unlocked, you will gain the gold value of the champ. Okay. I don't particularly like Pilfer. It's a cool idea in concept, but eh. Plot Armor. Initial armor and MR down 2. Preparation 2 is no longer offered on 3-2. Preparation 2 HP up by 5 though. And then Time Skip gives you another 4 experience. Damn. Those are some big changes in gold. Finally, Prismatic. Another long list. At what cost? Now it gives 12 XP. Belt Overflow only gives 4 belts now. But you get more bonus XP or more bonus HP out of the belts. I'm okay with that. I like that adjustment. More HP, but you get 1 less belt. Kind of makes up for it, right? Because it's like plus 15 times 4. 68. It's another 60 HP. So it's another bonus that you would have gotten anyway. It probably is still weaker, though, until you get more belts. Bronze for Life 2 damage amp. Minus 0.5%, just like the gold version. But 2% durability now per trait. Buried Tracers is now only available on 2-1. Call to Chaos new rewards. 6 unique components. Spatula. 6 unique components. Spatula plus frying pan. Plus 2 component anvils. Radiant Lucky Item Chest, plus 15 gold, plus 1 remover. 2 completed item anvils, plus golden egg. Plus golden egg? Okay. So that's pretty good. I actually really like Call of Chaos. It's going to make me pick it even more. But they removed 3 Snipers Focus, 3 Hull Crushers, 5 random emblems, 3-star 3 cost, and 20 gold. I like the 3-star 3 cost and 20 gold. The other 3 I think is okay. Call to Chaos RNG Golem bonus stats. Oh my goodness. Call to Chaos Golems. I'm not going through that. It's Call to Chaos, bro. I'll leave it where it lies. Deadlier Blades is now Prismatic tier. But it gives 2% per 3 instead of 1 per 5. Deadlier Caps now also Prismatic. And it's got the same change. 2% per 3 takedowns. Wow. Giant and Mighty size scaling adjusted. Can no longer be offered on 2-1. Less flat health. But bigger HP percent bonus. 10%. That's huge. Going long gives a little less gold. But gives 1 extra XP a turn. Okay. I agree with that. It makes it easier for going long to carry you all the way to level 9. Hold the Line is now additionally available on 3-2. Hold the Line buff now updates during planning phase as players move their units around. Visual effects have been added to show the units are being buffed. Buff targeting back 2 rows instead of just the back row. Now includes summon units like training dummies. Invested now calculates free rerolls based on the player's gold before they gain gold for the round. So that's an invested nerf. What used to happen is like you could go down to 70 gold and then you'll get the gold next round to put you back above 80 and then they give you 3 rerolls. Now you have to stop at 80. If I'm reading that correctly. Prismatic Destiny minus 1 gold. Prismatic Destiny Plus now available on 3-10 granting 10 gold. Quality over quantity bonus HP plus 3%. Shopping Spree is a new icon. Sword Overflow. 1 less sword but 1% extra attack speed. So just like with the belts. Tiniest Titan gold per round 2. It's actually kind of substantial because you're getting double the gold, right? You take Tiniest Titan and, 15 rounds pass, that's 30 gold. It's a big deal. Tiny but Deadly no longer offered on 2-1. Oh yeah, and the HP as well, you're right. Wand Overflow, minus 1 rod, but plus 2% attack speed per rod. Cool. Items. Adaptive Helm Mana Regen, plus 1. Armor and MR, plus 10. It's at 45 now, it's pretty good. Bloodthirster. Minus 5% AD and AP. Okay. I guess Bloodthirster was too consistent as a fighter item. Bramblevest. 9% HP. Wow. Auto reduction. Oh, but 5%. So you get the HP, but the actual mitigation on the auto damage is lower. Even Shroud. Another extra 100 HP. Edge of Night proc no longer cleanses damage over time effects. Oh, that's a pretty big deal. So something could still burn to death. Giant Slayer. Minus 5 AD AP. I mean, that's just flat AD AP, though. The Giant Slayer passive more than makes up for it, but it is a nerf nonetheless. Kraken's Fury. Minus 10% bonus attack speed. Minus 0.5% on the AD per attack. Bro, they added Kraken's Fury, and it instantly became like one of the best items for carries, and they've regretted it ever since. Spear of Shojin AP plus 5%. Okay. This might be because of the change they made to like Nashor's Tooth, for example. So Spear of Shojin started to fall behind in terms of mana efficiency for casters. Steric's Gauge Shield Duration. Minus 1 second. Ormog's Armor. Minus 100 HP. But plus 3% on the HP percentage. Not bad. I like that. And then these are just matching changes. Yeah. Matching changes for the Radiant items. All Radiant items are now exactly 2 times their base model and stats. Okay, so yeah. Radiant items receive the same plethora of changes and they're now double the stats. New artifacts. So it doesn't say what they do, but we got some new artifacts here. But they removed Enervating Locket, Unending Despair, Deathfire Grass, Mana Zane, Spectral Cutlass, and Trickster's Glass. Cool. Adjusted artifacts. Jesus Christ, dude. Another long list, but this is our last list, so let's get through it. Blighting Jewel, plus 10 AP, minus 2 MR Shred, and minus 1 mana. Blighting Jewel damage can only trigger its effect on an enemy once every 0.5 seconds. Seems like a nerf to me. A hard nerf. Dawncore, minus 5% on its damage. Death's Defiance, plus 15% AD, but minus 10% attack speed, plus 10 armor. So more damage, less attack speed. I wonder how that equalizes. You also get more armor, so I guess you're tankier as well. Gold Collector, plus 15% AD, but you lose a little crit chance. That's probably worth it. Depending on the champ you put it on, it's probably worth it, because you can still just go like IE plus Last Whisper, and that's probably still just a really good build. Or IE plus Hand of Justice if it's a melee. Zonya's Paradox, minus 15% AP, minus 5 armor. Okay, Zarya's got dunked on. Hull Crusher plus 15 armor, minus 200 HP, minus 10% damage bonus. Damn. Flicker Blades, minus 3% attack speed, minus 1% attack speed per attack. 80 per 5 autos, minus 1%. 80 per autos, minus 2%. Flicker Blades got dunked on too. I mean, it deserved it, but... Sorry, I feel like you got something stuck in my throat. That's why I keep coughing. Gambler's Blade. 10% attack speed increase, but no more AP. Luden's Echo Bolts Fired, minus 1. Mogul's Mail HP, plus 200, but half the HP per stack. And the gold delay is longer. Wow, they're dunking on a lot of these artifacts here. Yeah, so now even if you take the silver augment to get yourself an artifact, a lot of these artifacts are much weaker. Mittens now gives you 15% damage up instead of 25% durability. And instead of chill immunity, it's chill and burned immunity. Cool. So that's a nice adjustment for Mittens. Rapid Fire Cannon attack speed, minus 10, but it gives 5% damage amp. Prowler's Claw AD, plus 5%, crit chance, minus 5. Critical Strike bonus, down 10%. So, crit taken away from Prowlers in exchange for upfront damage. Wits End HP, plus 100. Attack speed, minus 5%. Armor and MR, minus 10. Wits End proc damage, 42 to 100 is now 30 to 100, so it's weaker on the lower end. And the Magic Vamp, minus 5%. It's just weaker, I think. It's just weaker. The only thing you got out of this was an extra 100 HP, but it's just weaker. Sniper's Focus bonus range removed. But plus 5 AD, plus 5 AP, plus 5 attack speed. Rework. Gain 40% damage amp against targets 4 or more hexes away. Wow. 40% damage amp. Holy crap. So if you have a champion that has really far range already, or if you have a champion that is able to increase their damage somehow, or their range somehow, plus 40% damage amp. That is huge. Of course, it won't work on the enemy front line because they'll always be within range. But once you get past the front line, it's gonna start smoking stuff. Lichbane, plus 25% AP. Damn. But you lose the attack speed, minus 20%. So you get AP rather than the attack speed. That's gonna matter a lot when you cast, though. Holy crap. So you're going to get to the cast a little slower, but when you get the cast, it's going to hit hard. Seeker's Arm Guard, minus 15% AP, minus 20 armor. Damn. Armor and MR. But you get Omnivamp. Passive change to on takedown, gain 20 armor, MR, and ability power. Okay, so... yeah, it still scales crazy good. Seeker's Arm Guard on kill effect removed. Alright. It can still scale really, really well, though, if you get it on the right unit. Static Shiv, minus 25% AP, but plus 10% attack speed. I guess that makes sense, because Static Shiv, you care about the attack speed more anyway. But the base damage went down. So, they're pushing this in the direction of getting out more attacks, rather than the attacks you do get out doing a lot of damage. So high attack speed champions are probably okay with this because you're getting more attacks in over time. So potentially you can make up for that damage deficit. Talisman of Ascension health. Minus 150. Damn it. It's one of my favorites. The Indomitable HP. Plus 100. MR and MR. Or Armor and MR. Minus 5. Max health plus 2%. So the Indomitable is getting a lot more HP. Wow, okay, that is a lot. That is way more than I expected, but it is the start of a new set. And of course, if you care about the rotating shop, this is all coming through, so I'm a little excited for the God King Darius, just because that's one of my favorite skins in League of Legends. Right? It's like one of the best skins ever. But yeah, dude, that's gonna be our patch notes for today. And we're at an hour exactly starting now. Holy crap. Great. So there you go. That's the last patch of the year. I think tomorrow is when TFT goes live. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the new TFT set starts tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure about that. But yeah, pretty good patch so far. Zahin got the nerfs he needed. A couple of these junglers got tapped down. Mel got tapped down. You love to see it. There's not any huge changes for League, really. But, you know, we went over it. The new scene's coming through. That's when all the really big changes will come through. And for TFT, some massive changes. I believe the set goes live tomorrow. So it's going to be a huge day for TFT tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to about do it on the patch notes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're as excited as I am. Not just for this new TFT set, but hopefully this TFT set tides us over until we can get to season 2026. Also, one last announcement. I might be bringing another game into the equation. I've been really just doing League of Legends patch notes, TFT patch notes, with some League of Legends and TFT gameplay as highlights on the YouTube. I am thinking of getting possibly back into some other games. Like I know Renegades dropped for Destiny 2 today. I kind of dropped off of Destiny with most of the crowd after Final Shape, but I am considering getting back into that. I'm also considering getting back into Overwatch because of a new character they're releasing named Vendetta. She's just a girl with a huge sword. Y'all know how I feel about characters with swords, you know, right? Like just a big, great sword. That's why I love Aatrox so much, aside from how edgy he is. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna about do it for me, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in. This was an hour long. I'm not even gonna cut it. I'm just putting this all up on YouTube. And if you are watching this from YouTube, this happened live on Twitch. Same name, Stop Flyer, here on Twitch. If you're hyped for the TFT set, come through tomorrow. We'll be live when the patch drops, and we're gonna play probably at least 3 or 4 hours of TFT, maybe more. Depends on what lines up, what happens tomorrow. We'll see then. I want to try to get in at least 4 hours of streaming that. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.